Hello, this is Darth Dawkins. I am once again here to warn you not to watch this show. While it is obvious that these people are unbelieving heathens, something even worse than their unbelief and denial has been brought to my attention. I know this may be hard to believe, but I am told that they routinely mock me, as hard as that is to believe. They claim I read from a script. This is a lie. Everyone knows I memorized it years ago and thus have no reason to read it. Checkmate, atheists. They also claim that I live in my mother's basement. Once again, this is a lie. I have my own bedroom at Mom's place, and it has a lock so she can't come in. Although, if I have any girls over the house, the rule is I have to keep the door open, which is so unfair. I'm not a kid anymore, but she just doesn't get me. I can't wait to move out. That'll show her, and one day, when my middle-aged kids move in with me, I'm going to be so much cooler than she is. Anyway, enough of that. I have to go to a dinner appointment, but don't worry, I will be in the Bible. In the meantime, give this stream a thumbs down and leave a comment saying, Darth Dawkins sent me, you stupid atheists. DD out.
And welcome to Friday Night. Man, Darth, he's got some issues, doesn't he?
He does. He does. I'm thinking maybe we should do a fundraiser for Darth to get him out of his mother's basement.
Look, no, he's got a room. Didn't you hear what he said? He's got his own bedroom.
Yeah, but he still broadcasts from his mum's basement
with a lock on the door.
He's got a lock on the door.
Yeah.
You know. But I mean, look, do we think it's a fair rule that, if there's any girls over, just to make sure everything's above board, the door has to stay open? I mean, I'm thinking there's probably not too many girls coming over, so it's probably not an issue.
It's probably, I mean, didn't Darth say in a debate that he now identified as being part of the LGBT spectrum? So he's just as likely to have a boy over, isn't he?
Hang on, you what?
And he doesn't have to lock a door for them.
No, he didn't. Hang on. Did he actually do that?
Yeah, but it didn't mean what you think it means.
It didn't mean.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I assume
he went off on some weird script about it.
Yeah, he was basically being a douchebag. Like he normally is.
So as long as there was a script, that's the main thing. So, and look, people often say, why do we give Darth Dawkins such a hard time? The answer is because he's a complete douchebag, and he's the way he's predatory in the way he goes after, especially people who are new to the atheist community. He picks his targets. He reads his script. He carries on. He yells over people. He talks over people. So you know what? He wants to act like an asshole. We're going to treat him like one. Anyway. That's enough about Darth. How are we, or what's going on? I see. God's got is that the pussy of God?
God's got his own pussy.
He's his own little god.
Jen's mind goes to the gutter, of course, but What's happening? What's happening, Ed? You had actually Ed and Jay. You guys had a really cool chat over on Ed's channel yesterday. That was insanely. That was an insanely cool. Yeah. Conversation.
Yeah.
I do get a little bit worried about your affinity for serial killers sometimes, Jay. I really do.
You just wait. But, I'm going to pull Ed in, and we're going to talk Ed Kemper, and you think I know some shit about Kuklinski.
Is that Gwyneth Paltrow in your T-shirt, Jay?
No.
Sacrilege.
Done.
So Jen won't be joining us ever again.
Shame on you. I have had a crush on this woman since I was like 5 years old.
Everyone can see that is Cameron Diaz. I mean, so that's enough from Jay. All right.
Enough from all of them. How you doing, Ed?
I'm getting dizzy. God damn it.
Oh dear. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know. See, this is the problem when two people have the power to hit buttons. They tend to hit buttons, but we do it simultaneously, so things go flying everywhere. It's just it does make me. Good to see people in the chat too. Good to see Gary Priestley has got the wine and cheese. We started this half an hour late specifically for Gary, so he could get his wine and cheese. So well done. So anyway, Ed, good chat with Jay. That was pretty cool. Anyone who hasn't seen it, head over to Ed's channel and subscribe for a start, because like Eddie's like just disgustingly undersubbed.
Wow.
Are you at the 400? You've been for 453?
Who?
You?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm not even at 400 yet.
Really? I thought I seen it said 451. Who's
I thought you were at 400 too, Ed.
That's what I thought.
No. Ow! Stop clawing at me. Jesus.
See, the cat thinks you're at 400 as well.
See, that's what happens when your pussy tries to sit on you.
Jeez.
Never good.
No,
Jesus, he says, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm at 392 or something like that.
No, okay. So nearly at 400.
So, almost.
Well, everyone, just seriously, right now, go and actually not right now. Later on.
After the stream.
Yeah.
Or right click and do it, but
Jay,
subscribe to Ed.
Jay and I had a really great chat. Some really good questions about my own personal experience in prison and everything. But I kind of really want to send everybody to the show that was right after the one with me and Jay. The talk that I had with Phoebe J. Rose on the forum.
I did see that you had another one not long after.
That was an amazing story and actually brought my attention to some of the stuff that the far right does nowadays, as far as accepting her as a trans woman into the movement, just to platform her and say, hey, see how good we are? We accept trans people as long as they're white.
Wow. Well, I guess if they've got their pet issue, I mean, there's only so much bigotry they can get out, isn't there?
But they're so
weak
dangerous,
on the bigot
though.
thing, aren't they? Because most bigots are bigots about everything.
Yeah.
You know what? That is a common thing. It's like they're never just like, like they're not just your racist. They're like a racist, homophobic, anti everything.
You've got one bigotry, you've normally got a shit ton of them,
Yeah, and now they're trying to change up that narrative and say, oh, we'll accept you if you're in the LGBTQ community. You just got to be white.
Yeah, just to be clear, when Ed's talking far right, it's a different far right to what I'd consider far right. It's like the extremist element.
Yeah,
it's like that extremist, like the basically the touching the other end of the horseshoe sort of thing.
Yeah.
So not typical, because obviously it's all right to be right
on the night.
Hey, I am. I don't care. It's all good. But no, it's definitely one I'll check out. Jay, what's going on with you?
Nothing. Day 1 of 5 days off. That's about it.
What?
I got 5 days off. Work. Well, see, Monday's Memorial Day, so we get that off from work. And then my job, they worked it around, so we got Friday
what's Memorial
off.
Day? What's
Memorial Day? For veterans who didn't make it home.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Cool.
So we got that off on Monday, and then work decided that they wanted to give us a 4-day weekend, so they scheduled everything so we had Friday off. So that gives me the 4-day weekend, and it's Memorial Day, so that's usually the opening barbecue season for my parents. And since we didn't have any at all last year, I needed to make sure I made it to this one. So I took Tuesday off. Otherwise, I'd be awake during my time I'm supposed to be sleeping, then I'd have to go to work all night long. I'd be so dead. I'm like, nope, I'm taking a day off. So yeah, I'm on day 1 of 5 days off. So
and now it's Friday.
Hey, it's Friday night here, so I'm pretty happy.
Yep,
on Friday.
Friday.
Yeah. Jen, what's happening over in your little corner?
In my little corner, I I don't know at the moment. I'm not getting as productive as I want to be, mostly because life gets in the way at the moment. So I have projects that I have planned and things to do, but none of it seems to be happening at the moment. Although sometime this week there'll be a roundtable discussion along with I'm planning to do a science of sci-fi stream with almost a Dr. Matt.
Okay. What any sci-fi in particular? What's your target there?
We'll probably talk about lots of different sci-fis and how we're hoping to take some questions from people beforehand and then sort of talk about it and say, look,
excellent.
This would be and this wouldn't be. So, and then at some point,
I want to know about the science of the Force.
And I was planning a video a while ago where I was going to be talking about overcoming your gag reflex.
Of course you were.
Yes. But I've had interest from a couple others, and it's going to become a stream with me and several other women as we talk about overcoming gag reflexes, and not just for the point of having sex, because for some people their gag reflexes can be particularly bad. Okay. No, but there are people who genuinely have a really bad gag reflex and can even affect them when they're eating. So techniques for overcoming that is an interesting thing. And despite the fact I don't actually have a gag reflex, I do actually understand some of the science of the mechanics of overcoming it because I found it interesting, given that I don't actually have a gag reflex. So,
Jen, only you could do a video on the science of a gag reflex.
Reflex, yeah. It's going to be an interesting stream. Yes, it's going to be the science of gag reflex.
Well, it's good to see plenty of people in the chat. Now, it's going to be a little bit tricky actually today. I can't put chat comments up in the stream because I'm kind of doing it a different way and realizing lots of different things that aren't working. But good to see everyone. A few familiar faces in there, so always good to see you. Gary, of course, is there. Scummer, Raven, Amber. It's good to see Raven. It's nice that Raven pops around. It's she is stalking you a bit though lately, isn't she?
She does.
Yeah,
no, sorry, I wasn't talking to you, Jay. Ed, I've noticed she's in a lot of Ed streams.
Yeah, she's talking out of him too.
Yeah. It's, these things happen.
See,
I heard she showed up on your doorstep once.
When we went and visited Ed, I slept for part of the day, so I don't know what happened while I was sleeping. So
look out.
Between him and her and Amber, who the hell knows what happened?
Her, Raven and Amber were digging in your wallet to go shopping, and I was just kind of sitting there going, "Whatever, I'm staying out of it."
Sure.
Hey, good to see Lavender Lady Diana's in the chat too. It's been ages. It's I've got to get you on a stream soon. I know you've had some challenges lately, but damn, I love having Diana in streams. She's so cool.
I see babyface Heathen in there too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's my favorite babyface.
I'm glad Ethan's here actually because it's
and one of the families there.
Manda is here, yes.
Manda,
I was getting to Manda. She was a bit down the list. I'm trying to get down the list. And Jeff's here too.
You already said Jeff.
Pete Ruby.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff's so important. I say him twice.
Twice.
So
they named him twice.
It's all good. So we've got a few things we're going to talk about tonight. So we're going to talk about this heathen thing that's going around at the moment, which is like, from the people who bought you Atheists are rocks, here's the latest controversy. Only just because it's so ridiculous and funny. So we'll have a look at that. We've got Darth Dawkins reading the Bible. He's going to read 2 verses for us today, which is really exciting. He's mainly to do with the character of God. So, we're looking forward to seeing what Darth has. Myself and Jay got a little show that we've been doing that we've put on hiatus called In History Today, which is put on hiatus for maybe a month or so, just times and stuff like that. So we're going to do a quick In History Today. We've got the Dumbass Tweet of the Week, and we've also got This Week in AiG's Tweets, so which could potentially give us the Dumbass Tweet of the Week, although I think there was a pretty good contender out there today that I saw.
I like the one I answered.
Oh, you know what? I think it's tight. I think between the one that Ed commented on and the one that that you answered, I think they're
They're
both
pretty
kind
bad.
of up there. I mean, it'll be interesting.
I would love to have Mandarin here just to see her reaction to the one that I answered.
Oh, that will be a
That
brilliant
would be
one. Well,
amazing.
hopefully Amanda's coming on in a week or two once she gets
Yeah.
a move all sorted and things.
I'm
But
just going to put this out there, and I could be wrong, but Twitter is the reason why aliens will not come to this planet.
or if they do, they'll be bringing a Death Star. I mean, can you imagine if you had to judge the human race off Twitter? Seriously,
We're done.
It is this.
Constant arguments and porn.
Oh, and people take it so seriously. People take it so damn seriously. Like their Twitter debates and their Twitter arguments, it's like they expect a bloody thesis from you in 140 characters. Like, man, and heaven forbid if you don't, conform to the groupthink of the day, well, you're just cancelled. I think Jay's been cancelled like 3 times this week.
Something like that.
Normally, I'm the one who's cancelled. So I get in and write, "Oh, you're cancelled." So that way, it's they never like to agree with me. So they're like, "No, because he said you're cancelled. You're not." So I'm helping you out there, Jay.
All right, that works.
I'm keeping you uncancelled, but
Why are you helping Jay?
because I mean, it's he's the only other person on this show who can grow a moustache. So
It's true.
we've got to look after each other. Us people with moustaches.
Moustache.
That's good. I guess it's Ed's kind of getting the Ken Ham going, where it just goes down. Yeah.
Actually, hold on a second. Hold on. You drink a big ass cup of that right there. Drink the whole thing.
Oh, that is an awesome cup.
Oh dear, there isn't many more things that are that's very you.
You can get these fake rubber spiders that have got that are weighted internally with ball bearings, and you can drop them into people's coffees, and they'll sit in the bottom because they're heavy, and then they finish drinking. There's the spiders in.
Amber would fucking murder me.
Okay, well, in that case, can you do it and can you film it?
No.
And just in your last will and testament, just say, I bequeath this video to Chris and Jay. We'll know what to do with it.
I do believe there are laws against snuff films.
Only if you get caught.
Oh, there's websites that will allow it.
Only if you get caught.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the latest thing that's going on at the moment, which is I think we've all seen it, that apparently it is now offensive for atheists to refer to themselves as heathens.
Right.
Okay, and where this has come from and why this is apparently because there's certain groups of pagans who use the term as well, and because they're a smaller group, it shouldn't be used. Something like that was the rationale. I don't get it. Like seriously,
they're a marginalized group who don't have their own identity, whereas atheists can simply just use atheist and not call themselves heathens because they're appropriating the identity from actual heathens.
But they can use the term pagan.
or
a Satru or Druid.
See this whole thing that's going on at the moment, and look, I really don't give a shit what people believe. I mean, Jay's here and Jay's a Buddhist. Okay. And this show originally did start as a purely atheist show, and Jay's been here since day one. But I don't get this whole allying with pagan or polytheistic religions just because their friends are in it and all this. It's just like it's virtue signaling. It's look, I mean, I love Jay to death, but Yeah, I'm not an ally. I'm not an ally with Buddhists.
Now,
I like Jay.
while we are talking about this, some of the comments that I seen coming from atheists claiming, that they can use this. Listen, I agree. Anybody who's not a convert to the God of the Bible technically is a heathen. But for these atheists trying to step up saying, well, we're, a whole lot bigger than you and people recognize us more, and that brings them, to our content and everything. That's not a valid reason. That is starting to lean more towards we're bigger than you, so we'll do what we want. And that's not okay.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that. See, what I think it is I think it's. I really think it's virtue signaling.
Just from a few of them, I've seen that. Not,
yeah, but you get wankers in everything.
Yeah,
and you get people who will look at that and just go, you know what, get fucked. I'm just going to use it anyway.
Yeah.
And you're going to get people who go, I understand what you're saying. I disagree with it. And you're going to get people who go, ooh, I'll never refer to myself as that again. Thank you. But the irony of it is that the person who I saw bring it up is the host of Talk Heathen.
Yeah. Which now she's trying to push for Talk Heathen to change their name.
And I've got a whole issue with that because, I mean, it's why Eric and V were basically booted from that show is beyond me. Eric started that show. That's Eric's show. And it was over creative differences. Like, give me a break. The atheist community of Austin, they're just, honestly, they're not what they used to be. I
don't think they ever were.
So disappointing.
They were. All they ever really were was this place that you could go and see Matt Dillahunty do his nut at somebody. And people enjoyed that. And it drove people in. And it did teach people a few things. But in the end, it's a show about... They make shows about people, about personalities, not about arguments. And it's just... It's dumpster fiery, like modern day debates is.
Yeah. And this whole thing with the etymology of the word, whatever, where the word comes from, who it was used against, all these people trying to say, well, it was specifically meant for people that practiced, pagan religions in Europe, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so when they said they were going to attack the heathens in China, that doesn't mean anything. When they said they were going to, battle the heathens in Western Asia, that didn't mean anything.
Yeah, I mean, Muslims were called heathens long ago.
This comes back to the tweet that I did the other day about language itself, and that we shouldn't be prescriptivists, we should be descriptivists, as in the dictionaries and such. They describe our common usage of language. They don't tell us how those words have to be used, because languages evolves as culture and society evolves. Language is a social construct, and we construct it ourselves. So if the usage of those words has changed, then those usages that they've changed to are valid. That doesn't mean the old usages aren't valid too. It just means words have multiple uses. And somebody saying, oh yeah, I'm a heathen, but they're not meaning somebody who worship the Norse gods, is a usage of the word heathen that's been around for about 200 years. It's not new. It's not something that somebody at the ACA or somewhere else pulled out of their ass. It's been around for a very long time. And there's more modern language that we argue as atheists needs to be accepted because it's the way that the language has changed. And yet we can't, and pagans do it too. We've got to accept this. I mean, most pagans and most atheists support the LGBTQ plus community. And language has changed to support the LGBTQ plus community, especially for trans people, but even for gays and lesbians. Gay used to mean happy and bright and everything. And now it's a term that covers that. That usage of the term gay is newer than the usage of heathen to describe anybody who isn't Christian. So if you're going to argue that you have to go back to the old meanings of words, then we can't use the word gay in any other way than happy, and you give a win to the Christians. to the Christian
and
Orthodoxy.
that's the thing. We're all, and that's the thing that baffles me. It's just like, why is this the important thing to argue about? Like, surely there's okay. You know what? And if you've got a platform, and you've got a platform the size of the ACA, okay, have your dumpster fire shit. I've got no issues with that. But what about it? You know, bringing light to some of the stuff that's actually going on in the world, like some of the atheists who are being locked up in African countries. You know, things like Atheist Alliance International. Their thing, but you know, it's they don't like them because someone said a naughty word once. But like there's more important things. If you've got a platform like that and you want to claim to represent atheists, do it. Like, just do it, or just I don't know. I mean, look, they can do what they want. Really, at the end of the day, actually, it's
another part of that argument too. And I hope somebody from the ACA actually hears this. Just because I don't claim to be an atheist or a heathen doesn't mean I can't have a say in this argument. Because I am a spiritualist right now and studying many different things doesn't mean my argument gets to be ignored. You can go fuck yourself.
Jay, you've been quiet. I actually want, as someone who is a theist here, you know, a Buddhist, so, you know, I guess you don't really have a, well, I guess technically you would be a heathen as well by the definition. What do you think, mate?
It's stupid. Plain and simple. It's fucking dumb. Of all the things you can be talking about, it's what the hell and who the hell can call themselves a heathen. It's fucking ridiculous. And it was a long ass thread of people bitching and moaning.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, the best thing I seen, you know, because I've been looking, because once I found out what our thing was, and after talking to my wife last night, and was today waiting for the thing, I was looking it up, and I was going through the different websites trying to figure out what the actual definition of heathen is or how they can use it. It's basically all atheists are heathens, but not all heathens are atheists, is basically what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And heathen refers to anyone that's not Christian, Islam, or Jew.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the meanings of it. It is one of the meanings.
Islam was a part of it.
Yeah, but now
I think the definition changed. But once again, definitions change.
Yeah, because languages, the meanings change. So languages and dictionaries are descriptive, not prescriptive. We didn't define English. We're not the French. We didn't define our language and say this is all it's ever going to mean, and we have to have conferences to decide what the new words are going to be. English has never worked like that ever. No. It's an amalgam language. It was the bastard offspring of Germanic languages, and
it's German. It's basically it's a derivative of German.
Heathen, the original term for heathen dealt with any Germanic religion: Norse, pagans, Druids, Celts. Those were the original heathens. And then it branched off from there and became anyone that was not of the Abrahamic faiths.
And it wasn't the name they gave themselves. It was the name that the church assigned to them. They were the heathens.
It was a derogatory term to begin with,
because it was actually pulled from to be the same meaning as pagan, and the original meaning of pagan is of country.
Yeah, and I mean Jeff is right. There is an element of a group who worship the Norse gods who did call themselves the heathens, and it's where the root of the word originally comes from. But the church adapted that and inserted its own take into the English language, not from the original language spoken by those Norse worshippers. In English, this word has always meant that.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I don't care, because our language changes. It doesn't matter what it originally meant. Nowadays, it has a broader meaning, and you can be a pagan who calls themselves a heathen, or an atheist that calls themselves a heathen. Anyone who basically isn't a Christian can call themselves a heathen.
Raven makes a very good point. It can definitely evolve, but I take exception when I'm told I'm not a pagan because I'm not polytheistic. I don't know where that idea comes from. You don't have to be polytheistic to be a pagan.
No, but pagan's a great example because pagan is a term that has changed and changes for different groups of people. Like it's the polytheists seem to have taken it as their own. Whatever.
And that's
my
fine.
own shit is I don't care what people call themselves, and so I have interesting conversations with Steve McRae because he's really hard on the atheist agnostic thing. And I'll say to Steve, look, I agree with your definition.
I have a point about Steve when you finished, Chris.
I say to him all the time, I don't disagree with your definition, but I don't care what people call themselves. Someone wants to call themselves an atheist, good for them. Cool. People can identify in any way they freaking want to. It's not up to me to tell people who or what they are. All right, now it's time for you to yell at Steve.
Okay. I'm not yelling at Steve. What I want to point out is a large majority of those people who are getting pissy about this term and saying it means what it means because this is our dictionary meaning of it are the same people who get pissy at Steve when he does the same thing about agnosticism.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? 100%. You know what? I'll let Steve know.
So they're complaining about Steve being a prescriptivist, which he is to a certain extent about that term, and I don't like Steve doing that. But they're doing exactly the same thing about an entirely different word.
But I mean, they'll also hypocrites. But they also they'll attack Christians and evil Christianity and religion is bad. Religion is bad. Except I've got a few friends who they're our allies because they think the same way about us on a few issues that have got nothing to do with atheism. So we're going to defend their right to religious freedom, but not anyone else's.
Yeah.
I'll defend anyone's right to religious freedom, but they also don't have the right to shove it in my face and be an arse about it.
Although if they did shove it in your face, you don't have a gag reflex.
That's only if they tried to shove it down my throat.
She'll just choke that shit down.
Yes. They'll be surprised pleasantly.
Don't choke on the doctrine.
Yeah. Before I forget this, because I'm old and I forget shit quite often, please stop referring to people who do have a belief as having a mental illness. That's not how any of that works.
It's not how it works. Look, belief is a part of who we are. The fact that we believe or had religious beliefs or looked at lightning and thought, wow, that's a thunder god, is part of how we evolved. It's part of our social structure. It's part of our storytelling. It's part of our creativity, our ideas. It's a part of our history. Incidentally, I am seeing a lot in the chat. I just want to get to a few things in the chat. So, normalizing atheism, Pastor Mike, good to see you. It says Jay is my favorite atheist, almost atheist. FYI. So that's good. Good to see. He's up there. He's definitely in my top four. Definitely in my top four.
I'd put myself in my top 10, but.
Yeah. I mean, Darth Dawkins is definitely number one because he creates more atheists than anyone. Probably very closely followed by.
Speaking of, I hope Tom Rabbit. If you guys don't know who Tom Rabbit is, he records a whole lot of the Discord with Darth. Dr. Josh Bowen actually had a conversation with Darth on Discord yesterday.
You know what? I saw. Josh actually tweeted about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. That's why
my initial thought was, I need to listen to this. I need to listen to this.
That's why I'm hoping Tom Rabbit got it fucking recorded.
Oh, that'll be good. That'll be good. So some other things. Hey, Matt Pig's here. Hey, good to see you, mate. Nerdy Rodent is tackling people, and where is it? He said, you're all heretics. Oh, wait. Yeah, it says that in the channel name. Soz. It's true. Well, I think heretics are fine. Yeah, it's hey, if they change the name of that show to Talk Heretical or something like that, then I'll have a problem. But probably won't do the channel too many a disservice here. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Gary said some people call themselves liberal when they are not very liberal. I get that, Jay. Very, very good, Gary. Very good, Gary.
Raven said I'm in my top 3.
Well, that's good. That's good. I mean, it's hard to beat Darth, so it truly, truly is. So, look, I'd be interested to see what people think in the chat as well. I have seen a little bit, but, I guess I just don't think it's even remotely an issue, but
it shouldn't
being
be
made into an issue. And it's actually, I don't know if Ethan's still here, because I saw Ethan sort of put a question, well, why? Can you explain it? And he sort of had some pagan who identified as a heathen kind of go off at him in a way. Like, it was really aggressive. And I thought,
for asking a legit question.
What a douchebag is all I could think. It's just like, it was, why do you need to do that? Like, it's it's not up to me to educate you. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Then don't say anything. If it's not up to you to educate someone, say nothing. Shut up. Don't get involved in the conversation. Don't virtue signal and come across as a smug person.
My feel feels.
Yeah, feel feels, of course.
Nobody gives a shit if you're offended.
In fact, all that happens is people like me just see it and just go, oh, I want to poke. I just want to poke the bear.
Oh, and I did. I poked quite a few of them, like on both sides of the argument. I'm like, fuck it, I'm getting everybody pissed off today.
Ed, they call that bestiality.
And so the thing is, I'll say this: like, the person who started it, and I'm actually not too sure how she identifies on. I know as ex-cult baby. I don't know if she's using
they them.
Oh no, I meant. Oh, really? Okay, well, I didn't know
ex-cult baby is they them, but it's not ex-cult baby anymore.
There you go.
Okay.
Gordon, Rudy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because it's on Facebook I see Rudy, and I just didn't want to dox. That was all. I was like,
it's Rudy, and they identify as they them.
Okay.
Yeah. But I got no issues. I actually Rudy's been on the show before, like ages ago. I had a really good conversation. Got on great with him, and yeah, cool, no problems. But this just seems like a weird hill to die on.
Talking of weird tweets and the fact that we just had a discussion about pronouns, but just out of nowhere, there was a tweet that came up in the last week where this person did a great.
Have you got that one to share?
Oh, no, I wish I did. I'm not talking about the one today, but I wish I had it in front of me. But this guy came up with a whole diatribe about how you can't use they, them in the singular. And in the whole process of it, their entire dialogue was using they, them in the singular, and didn't actually. And the person they were talking to, they used they, them to describe that person entirely throughout their dialogue of complaining that you cannot use they, them as pronouns.
Maybe they were being
polite. Word I have ever seen.
Dumbass.
Everyone under their comments, even people who were agreeing with them were like, "You're a fucking idiot."
Well, that seems like a great segue into dumb tweets, Chris.
It does.
I think it is. And Jay, what have you got for us in the dumb tweets?
What do I got?
You don't got nothing.
Yeah, I do.
Is there
No. I got one.
Is there any chance, before you put up the one that I interacted with today, is there any chance, Manda, that you could hop in on your phone for 5 minutes just for the
come on, Manda.
The one I've got.
Message me on Twitter.
Yep.
All right, so let's start with the first one.
I gotta find it.
Come on, man, what's going on?
I wasn't prepared. I thought you had the tweet because you said AIG dumb tweets.
Oh no, that's a different thing. So we're doing dumb tweet of the week.
Oh, well, shit. All right, hang on just a second.
AIG's all dumb tweets. I mean, it's we'll just be comparing.
This one comes from our great buddy and dumbass friend of the show, Grumpy Old Dude.
Oh.
So it's not the video itself. It's the comments underneath. Hello, Project Bluebeam.
But hang on. Let's give a bit of context so we can have a look at the.
See if I can blow this up so you can see it better.
Yeah.
See, and this is why. I mean, people back in the oldie days wandering through deserts and stuff would have seen that and gone, "That's where Thor lives. Look at Thor. He's angry."
I thought it was Zeus. Didn't you say it was Zeus, Chris?
Well, it is
Chris
Zeus. I'm talking about the people who are wrong. I mean, it's clearly Zeus.
Yeah. It's
I'm talking about people who thought it was Thor. I mean, everyone knows it's Zeus. Come on. What's wrong with you?
So, from
Did you
that
send Amanda
video,
the link, Chris?
Yeah, when she messaged me on Twitter. Yeah.
Oh, you have sent it or you haven't?
No.
I have.
Amanda messaged me on Twitter and I'll...
No, she messaged me and I was just wondering if you had already.
Oh, no.
It's all right. I've done it.
Anyway, we'll continue.
Sorry.
are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt again.
Sorry.
No, please go ahead, Jay.
All right. So
anyway, I've just muted Jay. It's much better like this, isn't it? Should we do this all the time?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe. You know what? He'll start singing, and then we'll have to deal with an angry raven.
anyways, from that video, almost all the comments were "Hello, Project Bluebeam." Now, does anybody? I know what Project Bluebeam.
What's Project Bluebeam?
Okay,
please enlighten me.
So Project Bluebeam refers to the New World Order sending out a hologram throughout the entire world using connecting satellites to change everyone's religion so they can join with the Antichrist and bring upon the New World Order. Problem is,
fuck off.
Now this theory was reported in 1994, but was actually literally taken almost word from word from a rejected Gene Roddenberry script for the very first Star Trek movie.
Oh wow! This sounds like something that our old friend can't get his cock rising.
That was written in 1979.
Oh wow!
Oh, people believe things.
So
we did have Manda come in, and we've just lost Manda. Okay, that's all right.
So I mean, the whole thing. I mean, it's a whole bunch of Project Bluebeam. They can't stop what's coming. One of them says Trump 2020.
Bit late for that.
The Lord is around.
Oh, of course.
That's the face of God.
No, the face of God. That's the face of God. Right there. God 2020.
The face of Trump. There will be signs in the heaven. They come in clouds.
What is the fascination with Trump and Jesus? I don't get that.
They're the same person. Have you ever seen Trump and Jesus in the same room at the same time?
No, but that reminds me of the Trump Batman argument.
Yeah. But this also pulls in that goes right along. Oh, because Project Bluebeam also connects to Jewish space lasers that started the wildfires in California.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Nerdy wrote it. Not going there. Leaving that alone. You can keep Project Blue Waffle to yourself.
What I'm just going to say is, don't forget people will be watching this. We actually get quite a number of views. We actually get double the views after the show than we do. So not everyone will be following the live chat. So if you do see something, because we can't put it up, read it out so long as it's clean. No, actually, even if it's not clean.
Yeah, I'll read it out if it's not clean. I've got a reputation to uphold.
Absolutely.
Nerdy Rodent says, is Project Blue Waffle a related project?
I mean, waffles.
I'm just going to leave that one alone. All right, so Jen, let's find Jen's.
I've got
tweet.
It. Yeah,
Amber, even better. So you can share.
Amber made the mistake of Googling Blue Waffle one time.
I No, I'm not going to ask, actually. I'm not going to ask. Now, before you bring that up, I'm going to bring someone in. Hang on.
Yay.
Give us just 1 minute. That was the wrong button. But
hi, Amanda.
Okay, that was the wrong button.
I
Amanda, how you doing?
feel disparaged because you idiots are talking about blue waffles and they come in as pale blues. Fuck you guys.
Oh, we can change your name too.
No.
We can change that name. All right, so this is one we definitely had to bring in for. Jen, would you like to read this? Would you like to read this tweet?
So this is from Apologetic Squared, and this has to go down as one of the dumbest arguments I think I've ever seen.
Now, just to be clear, Apologetic Squared is a serious apologetics. Yeah, well, as serious as they can be.
Yeah. So if naturalism is true, then computers can be conscious. Computers can be made entirely out of dominoes. Nothing made entirely out of dominoes can be conscious. Therefore, naturalism is false.
That was a kind of okay. That was a special kind of stupid. So
it is, isn't it, Amanda? I'm imagining your face because I can't see it, but I'm imagining.
Yeah. It almost hurts.
I mean, it's wrong. It's wrong on a logic level, and the premises are false to start off with.
Yeah, but
and
doesn't
this guy
that...
has a call later to ask her, which premise would you dispute? All of them.
But
I want to see a computer that's made out of dominoes. Personally,
I think they cancel each other out, though, so it's like a double negative, making it a positive, therefore owned. We all have to convert now, right?
Yeah. Well, basically, the first premise is
just me getting crackles from. Sorry, is it just me getting the crackle sound then from Amanda, or?
No, I heard it a little bit.
Okay, cool.
A little bit. She was mostly understandable, but I mean, the first premise is wrong. It says that if computers can be conscious, not that they are, not that all of them can be. And then he goes on to say that ignore the computers can be entirely made out of dominoes, which isn't exactly true. But then you go on to 3, nothing entirely made out of dominoes can be conscious. Well, A, you couldn't prove that. And B, even if you can make a computer out of dominoes, you've said in your first premise that only some computers could be conscious. So it fails in logic anyway. And then you can argue that, well, just because naturalism is true doesn't mean a computer can be conscious, because we don't actually know what is required to make a fully conscious AI. We don't even know if it's possible. And we've lost Amanda.
Yeah, nope. I think she's was on a mobile connection, so
it's not good.
Yeah,
I'm glad you heard it.
It's dropping. Yeah, it was.
And as far as making computers out of dominoes, that's a reference to a video from Matt. I can't remember his name. He does stand up, the YouTube channel Stand Up Maths, where he does comedy mathsing, and he did a whole project where they built a computer. They built an adding machine out of dominoes, basically, and you could put in, if you set all the dominoes up, you could put binary numbers in at the front, push the things down on the binary numbers you want, and it would add them up, and you get a binary answer at the end. So you could figure out what the answer was. It was a binary adding machine. The building blocks of building a computer, but it's one shot. Computers have to be able to do those calculations over and over and over again to be a computer. Otherwise it's just a state machine. So that's not even a computer. So if you were going to build a domino computer that could do all the possible calculations that a normal modern desktop computer does, you'd have a dominoes computer larger than the entire universe.
Okay.
So it's wrong on so many levels, and I thought it was just hilarious that this person actually thought that all his premises were valid and that his arguments were valid.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Jen.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just an amazingly stupid argument.
Now, I've said this many times. I'm not a scientist. I don't I'm not a mathematician or a doctor or anything like that. But
You're
that was
sharing private messages there, Jen.
that was one of the stupidest
You were
tweets
sharing
I've ever seen.
your private messages.
My private messages?
You had your Twitter open,
Oh,
and
sweet.
you went straight into. I've went like,
Sorry about that. It was only the backwards and forwards to Amanda. So
okay.
and it was only about the current things, so that's fine. I just said thank you to her for hopping in.
Yeah, cool.
No, that's okay. Sorry.
I think she did pop back up in the background, but it was sort of cutting in and out. So what I might do is I'll have a chat to you after, Andrew. We will get you back on a bit after, but it was a bit sort of.
She might have something she wants to say.
in and out.
Get her in for a sec and see what she's like.
Right, we'll give it a go.
Yeah, give it a go.
Yeah, give it a shot. Why not?
Amanda.
How are we? We got you?
Yeah, that Jen's totally right. Like, that's just fucking ridiculous. But there was one story that I did want to tell really quick. Like, I don't have TV. I haven't had TV, like cable, in years. So being at the hotel, I was watching, TV last night, and there was a infomercial for this male enhancing project thing called. It was called Nugenics. I kid you not. Like,
was that Moogenics, like cow?
No, new as in like.
Oh, new as in new. I was going to say Moogenics would be awesome.
Can you do me a favor? Can you send the details across to Ed?
Fuck you.
But it was just like I was kind of in and out, falling asleep with like a piece of pizza in my hand, and I'm like, wait, what is somebody like trying to push eugenics as like some male enhancement supplement? It was fucking crazy. So anyway, that was my story. But am I still crackling?
A little bit.
No, you're good,
Little
actually,
bit,
Amanda.
Okay.
I thought. Oh, you sound pretty
Yeah,
good.
I'm getting a little bit of on my end.
I
because of the different things going, but yeah.
Just wanted to pop in and say hi. I'll go back in the chat. But
hi.
Well, hopefully when you get settled, you can start doing more streams and stuff.
Oh yeah, we only got
I want to see more of you, and you can help me keep these guys in line because it's hard work without you.
I know, right? Especially with
we're easy. You're kidding, Jen. You're kidding. You're the troublemaker. You're the troublemaker, not me.
I think
Ed maybe.
Chris just called himself a whore, so
it's not the worst thing I've called myself.
All right, I'll let you guys have fun. I'll see you in the chat.
Good to see you, Amanda. I'll chat to you after. It was funny.
That was good.
Funny. The chat's sort of gone a little bit quiet, but we I think Jaded Atheist. If you haven't subscribed to Jaded Atheist, go subscribe to Jaded Atheist, because new content creator in the community. We always want to support content creators, especially the new ones, because I don't know about all of you, but I remember that initial start, trying to getting to that 100 subscribers, and oh man, that was a tough. That was a tough. I reckon it was harder to get to 100 than it has been getting to 1,000. But
it's a longer slog getting to the 1,000 than the 100, but the 100 feels harder.
Yeah. It's sort of that. It can be very disheartening at times.
Oh, very.
You're sort of doing things, and it's you sort of only a few views, but it does grow. It truly does.
You're very close now, Chris. Like 80 subs.
I know it's getting closer. It goes up, then it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. Anyone who hasn't subscribed, by the way, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing.
Subscribe to the rest of us. Go and subscribe to the rest of us. I'm pretty sure Chris has got links in the description.
I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't bother with the rest of them, to be honest. Of course, go and subscribe to everyone. Everyone's really good, so it's always fun. You'll get lots of sciencey stuff from Jen. Ed yells at people, which is always fun. Ed, no one yells at anyone like Ed. If you haven't seen a classic
Well-
Ed rant, then yeah.
Well, not just my rants. I have lots of activists that come on my channel.
He makes
Yeah,
a
but
very
we all
suave James
watched it
Bond
for the
as well.
rants.
I noticed you've been using that picture a lot lately.
He's a bit of a singer too, our Ed. Bit of a,
No, I'm really not.
well, look, it's Jay thanks you because you've made him sound like a karaoke superstar.
Dude, I know. Bombing.
All right. Well, since we're on the theme of dumb tweets,
Oh boy.
let's see what Answers in Genesis have been up to this week. I've intentionally not had a look at too much of their stuff because I like to be surprised. It's I'd like to think they're the gift that always gives. So now hopefully nothing will pop up on my screen, but live shows. All right, so let's have a look. So the first one we've got is how much water was on board the ark?
How much what?
Water was
Water?
on the ark. Yeah. Have you ever thought about how much water Noah and his family would have needed on board and how they would obtain it? I'm kind of thinking there's a lot of water around. I'm assuming it's not all salt water.
Well, there was quite a lot on the ark because didn't it leak?
Probably. I don't know. Well, I know the one at Dinosaur Adventure Land did.
I can't anymore. I just can't anymore.
Yeah,
There's a
you
leak on the
can.
boat.
Ed got it. I'm so glad someone got that reference.
Making
I'm
my
assuming you're
brain-
talking about the time that
I'm-
actually the Ark encounter flooded.
The ark encounter flooding, yes. That's what I was talking about.
Fantastic.
Chad Hall
So
said he
that's-
looked at that article. He goes, "They're intellectual toddlers."
Oh, look, I've met some pretty smart toddlers out there, so I think you could be doing a disservice to those toddlers.
They didn't need any water on the ark. They had a desalination plant in the bottom of the ark.
And actually, Gary Priestley in the chat has pointed out something good. He's written, "Hereticals. Apparently, you may like Ark Encounter." And yeah, look, it's they're recommending John MacArthur, who's a pastor. John MacArthur's a famous Australian name too, but that's another story. He's only following nine people.
Wait. All this water that they claim was on the ark, was it just water, or was that the original holy water?
Ooh, was it blessed? Oh, well, I mean, if God made it, appear, maybe it was like, maybe it like the heathens would get to it. All the heathens, not just the pagan heathens. They'd touch it and get, it'd burn the skin off or something. Maybe it was like that.
If it leaked at some point, they had holy water. So
That's true. That is
And
true.
God blessed the oceans, and Noah was therefore able to drink it.
what's the next one?
Oh, dear. Okay, sorry, you've caught me while I'm typing hello to people. So, and you can't control this one, can you? What did the early church believe about creation?
What was in the Bible mostly?
Probably because I'm going to go with the early church 2,000 years ago. If you've read the Bible, you probably can see that they don't have the best grasp on science. Just going to put that out there. Just going to put that out there. Maybe we're not dealing with Einstein here. I mean,
Well, they answer it in the title. It says, "What did the early churches believe about creation? In its first 16 centuries, the church held to a young earth." Why would you need to read anything else in the article?
I wonder what happened 16 centuries later.
Discovered that things were older.
But the irony, like the ancient Greeks knew the earth was round. Like the heathens, as in the pagan Greek heathens, knew that the earth was round. They wrote about it. Like in Herodotus, there's references to the earth
Aside
being
from
round.
that, Answers in Genesis is wrong. The concept of a young earth came about because of Aquinas adding up the ages of the people in the Bible. It had nothing to do with the belief of the church, because there were conflicting beliefs in the early church that God's creation referred to eons of time, which could be anything up to several thousand years between each day. So there were concepts like that were actually existed in the early Hebrew, the early Israelite beliefs and that. So no, they did not universally believe in a young Earth. They probably believe we don't know how old the Earth is, which is way more on the stance than any young Earth creationist has.
And half of them weren't reading the Bible anyway because they were illiterate. They couldn't read.
Exactly, and nobody cared about how old the Earth was because it was irrelevant to what they believed.
We've got a couple of in the chat. I'm guessing you're about to throw one, Jay.
Yeah, Pete Berubis says, imagine all the floating dead bodies as you're looking out from the ark.
Imagine the smell after just a few weeks.
Ooh, it'd be pretty rank. Maybe you wouldn't want that water. So Gary Priestley has said, I've spent a little bit of time in the bowels of a ship and the water down there is pretty vile stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's horrible.
The green face. Almost a Doctor has written something very, very good, actually. Could he turn the ocean to wine? Is that why Noah became a drunk? Possibly. I mean, the first thing Noah went and did after is he didn't plant grain. He was like, I'm planting a vineyard. Let's get the wine happening. Noah might have been Australian. He
went on a fucking. He was either Aussie or he was a Scots.
He told the kangaroos and the koalas to bounce all the way to Australia from the Middle East and leave no traces. Straight there, no stopping on the way.
Take your dead.
That's why marsupials have pouches so they could carry their dead.
Don't give them ideas, Jen. Don't give them ideas. Banana Man will be doing that tomorrow. He said, "Look at the marsupial and the pouch. It'll be coming. It'll happen. It'll happen." Ah, dear. Gary Priestley, I reckon those three would host a wicked keg party. Yes, they would. Yes,
I think he's talking about the three pictures, the three priests on the cover.
That's what I'm assuming. There's a kegger there. There's a kegger there. All right, so we'll keep going. So they're posting, and you know what? All these articles will be articles from like 10 years ago because that's all they do. They just recycle their old stuff over and over again. Okay, how long did God say people will live after Noah?
What?
Okay.
Didn't say like 100 years.
Argument about people living. Sorry.
I just like it here. It explains why the Bible seems to contradict itself in Genesis and Psalms. Seems to contradict. Of course, it doesn't contradict itself because there'll be some bullshit. You know what? Let's have a look at the bullshit reason.
Oh, God.
What do they say? The problem, yes. Yeah, we've got days of our lives are 70 years, and if by reason of strength they're 80, well, that's 80, so only 80. There we go. 120 years in Genesis, 80 in the Psalms. No contradiction.
Well, how long was it between Psalms and Genesis?
Genesis was written after
when they were actually written, or when?
Yeah, when they were actually written.
Okay, so they were both probably written about the same time.
Yeah, it's commonly believed that Genesis was probably one of the last books written, but yeah, around the same time.
Well, if it was the last book written, you thought they could have got it fucking right and make it correspond with
it's probably more towards the middle because it's probably was written while in exile. It's probably one of the last ones written in exile. But
come on, they were never actually in exile. There's no evidence that there were any Israelites in Egypt.
No, I'm talking in the Babylonian exile.
Oh no, yes, that one did.
Oh, they weren't in Egypt. God, no, they definitely weren't in Egypt. No, I'm talking about the Babylonian exile. That
definitely happened.
That was about 500 years before Jesus would have been born. So, yeah, and that's when pretty much everything was written. But, I mean, traditionally...
Well, because they learned how to write from the Babylonians.
No, probably not. But they did take a lot of They took a lot of cultural things from the Babylonians, like the code of laws.
The story of Noah.
Yeah. I think that was Assyrian actually. But well, I mean, it was just a general flood legend from the area. So, but
And lots of cultures have flood legends.
anyway, let's have a look at their solutions. So it's of course Noah because it's all going to be in Genesis. Severity of people. Okay, yep. Noah found grace. Okay, so God was allowing people to live to 120 in Noah's time, but then not after. And since then, no one has lived past 80 ever.
Yeah. Okay, oldest woman ever lived was 122.
Something like that.
Yeah, but that's not convenient. That doesn't count because Jesus.
Well, wasn't one of the last two survivors of the Tulsa rape riots? Didn't she just turn like 107?
Yeah.
Oh, of course, their argument against that is no man shall live past 80.
Shit, the oldest living man.
Had they met Prince Philip?
Yeah.
The oldest living man just turned like 111.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
And Maya Atkinson in the chat, they were probably always in exile. I don't believe any of the stories of them conquering enemies. Yeah, I think they might have been exaggerating a little bit. Even King David, he probably existed, but he was probably like a tribal chief, basically.
Yeah, well, they were very nomadic anyway.
Yeah, well, the time they had this big empire, supposedly, the Egyptians actually ruled the area and had a border with Assyria on one side and Babylon on the other. There was no great Israelite kingdom, Anyway,
they were a tribe that existed within the boundaries of other empires.
Yeah. So
exactly.
to go back with the old people, the oldest living woman was 122 years, 164 days. She passed away in 97. And the oldest living man passed away in 2013 at 116 years, 54 days. Both of them, well, he was from Japan, she was from France.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember the Japanese guy.
Yeah.
But good diets. Good diets.
So all significantly older than the 80 years, and one of them over the 120 years. So Bible's really accurate there.
Yeah.
Gary has made a good point in the chat.
Yeah.
He said, but Prince Philip was a god too, so he doesn't count. That is true. Yeah,
well, that is true.
Yeah,
so
he's the volcano god of Tana.
Since I'm the one true God, I guess I'm never going to die.
No, you're
cool.
Good. You're good. You're possibly going to be cast into the lake of fire for 1,000 years. We haven't ascertained that you aren't the Antichrist, and which would make Jay the false prophet.
I don't prophesy shit. So I just looked through the list out of the men and women, old men and women. Out of all 100 of them, because 50 men, 50 women, only one was from the Middle East. The rest of them were from like the United States and Japan and Europe. There was one guy from Israel, lived to 113, and he died in 2017.
Mind you, it's the records weren't as good 100 years ago in the Middle East.
Yeah.
A lot of it was under it's a lot of illiterate areas under the Ottomans. The Ottomans weren't the best to be stuck under. So yeah, you do take that into account as well.
I'm sorry, it's the top 200, 100 women, 100 men. But yeah, it's like.
And it has been mentioned in the chat that Ed does look good for 95. Yeah, I don't know. No, I think he looks about his age.
That's about okay, right. Gary, a.k.a. Darth, in the dinner time.
Gary.
All right. Who else is it? It's okay. It keeps recommending a lot of Christians to me. I don't know. Maybe it's trying to convert me.
It's a sign, Chris. It's a sign.
Yeah, you're going to have to convert.
Actually, that's interesting. Topics to follow: Joe Rogan, chemistry, homeschooling, Joe Rogan again, and Brisbane.
What the fuck?
And that would I understand how cookies work. None of that stuff would be cookies. None of that stuff would be cookies. I do listen to Joe Rogan on occasion, but it's usually on my phone and through Spotify. So
is that hate watching? Is it?
No, I don't mind Joe. It just depends on who he's got on. Some of them are really bad. Some of them are good. He sold out a little bit, but
He's basically a dick.
He's sold out a lot of bit.
He is. He's a dick.
he's sold out. Yeah, but that was always going to happen. Oh, hang on. Why is Amanda Stoker trending in Australia? Oh, anyway, sorry.
Who the hell's Amanda Stoker? Oh, she's. Oh, yes, she is too. Sorry. Jeez, I'm good at not knowing who people are today.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm the politics guy. That's okay. All right. So what do we got? Does Hugh Ross believe in soulless ancient humans?
Who the hell is Hugh Ross?
What?
I don't know. I don't know. So, okay, he's obviously looking at that, he must be someone who's an evolution. He accepts the biblical truth that Adam and Eve were the parents of all modern humans, and then goes to Neanderthals. So, okay, it's going to be one of those. Well, if you believe in the Bible, well, then you've got to believe in our version of evolution and creation.
Where did Cain's wife come from?
Yeah,
Eve.
I am guessing Dr. Hugh Ross is the guy who came up with the concept of mitochondrial Adam, mitochondrial Eve, and things like that. So he believes in an Eve. I'm betting that's the way that goes, but I couldn't tell you because biology.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of a smug kind of, doesn't it? Okay, we are composed of about 60% water and cannot survive more than a week without drinking it. Water, an underappreciated gift of the Creator. Oh. Maybe that answers the water on the boat question.
The vast majority of the water on Earth is undrinkable.
Good design. Really good design.
Really good design, that one.
Water everywhere, not a drop to drink.
Drop to drink, yeah.
Almost a Doctor has actually put in the records a few decades ago in the Middle East still weren't good. We don't know my dad's birth year. Yeah, and that's pretty common. It's records. We're fortunate in Western nations that we have kept records. Same with Japan. Really, really good records.
I mean, even for that French woman who they think was 122 years old, there's a margin of error of about 4 years there. So because the particular parish where her birth was recorded was damaged during the First World War. So,
and I've got to tell you, as someone who's read a lot of ancient, like 100-year-old letters and writings and going back, some of them is pretty hard to read. Like they write in that ye oldie style, and not everyone's got great handwriting. So
yeah.
All right, Satan and the origins of evil.
Satan is just misrepresented.
Well, the origins of evil come from God himself. He created it.
I'm really liking the look of this one. The next time you engage in a theological debate, remember Jesus. How do I stay humble when I know I'm right?
Oh, my God.
And it says we are right only because God has taught us to know what is right. How quickly can we forget that?
I think we have to have a look at this article.
That looks like something Darth Dawkins wrote.
This is from 2018
by Todd Friel. Don't know who Todd is. Oh, actually, I think Todd's the guy on the show with Ken. I think.
Almost a doctor said near beer is the origin of evil.
Oh yeah, that is some bad stuff. That is some bad stuff. Do you know why godly creation scientists believe God created the world in 6 24-hour days? Because they're creation scientists. It's kind of.
I like their answers, though. They are brilliant, and they have PhDs, and they understand the meaning of Genesis.
I have met some very, very, very questionable people with PhDs. Kent Hovind technically is a doctor.
Gary said Todd is the street preacher.
Can I explain why that's a problem? Because real scientists don't say, I'm right because I'm brilliant or I have a PhD. Real scientists go, I'm probably right because I have fucking evidence.
Okay, so in a few years when all going to plan, I've got my PhD, all going to plan. Does that mean I can say, well, I understand the meaning of Genesis 1 and 2. I'm brilliant and I have a PhD. So therefore, Ken Ham, you're wrong and you can't argue. Todd Friel said so.
There you go.
I reckon there's a lot more PhDs that say no.
We could get somebody who's almost or very, very close to having his PhD in to have his opinion on this. Because Matt's in the chat.
Wait, what does that say?
Actually, I do want to get him on one week soon.
Yeah.
We'll get him on when we do the science one. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get him on.
Hold
Matt,
on.
you're on.
Oh, wait, Chris, hold on. The natural person does not accept the things of the Spirit of God, for they are folly to him, and he is not able to understand them because they are spiritually discerned. So what people are not natural? Make that make sense.
Does that statement? Could you explain this to me, there, Chris? I read that as they're saying that they're all understanding, all knowing, all powerful God doesn't understand people who actually understand science.
See, this is one of the problems when just a single verse is quoted. It takes the context out before it and after it. But what I used to say to a lot of Christians is, everyone knows what John 3:16 is. How many of you know what John 3:15 is? And I used to preach that and talk about context in the Bible and how you need to actually read the whole thing, forget the verses, forget the chapters, read it as a book.
Yeah.
And that's one of the problems. I think because that's pretty early on in Corinthians, so I'm pretty sure that's sort of where he's sort of doing the God is wonderful, God is all these things, God is just so super duper amazing sort of preamble, because I think it starts Corinthians 1 is sort of like, hey, it's me, how you doing? And then it sort of goes into the God is all these things, and then sort of follows on from there. So I think it's sort of the
I can't remember the rest of the verses around that. We should look it up.
Yeah, we could, or
we could just laugh at their point. Yeah, we could just laugh at them actually doing a self-phone by saying that their God, who's all powerful and all understanding, can't understand something. Because that's literally what that says. If you take that just as that particular line, he is not able to understand them. Your all-powerful, all-knowing God cannot understand something, so therefore is not all-powerful and all-knowing.
Yeah, so with that, so the natural person does not accept the things of the Spirit of God, for they are folly to him, and he's not able to understand because they are spiritually discerned. So basically what that's saying is the people who aren't believers, they don't accept. So the heathens don't accept the things of God because they don't understand it, and because they don't have the Spirit, they don't have the heart. That would be how you would preach from that.
Yes, so, but it also says that God is not able to understand them either. The second part of that is that God is not able to understand them because they are spiritually discerned. Contextually, the way that's written.
Yeah, no, that's
if you take the script, if you take the script around
that's a loss in translation.
It is.
Yeah,
I realize it's not meant to be that.
What I like is the next line.
That's a bad script. That's a bad verse to put in there.
It's yes, creation scientists are intelligent. Questionable. There are plenty of other intelligent men and women who believe. Oh, I like that they put women in there. That's okay. That's progress progressive. For them. Well done, Ken or Todd. Well, it's Todd, not Ken. So okay.
Yeah.
Who believe the Earth is old or evolved all by itself. The real difference between young Earth creationists and someone like Stephen Hawking or Neil deGrasse Tyson is the Holy Spirit. No, I'm going to say there's a lot more differences. There is a lot more differences between Neil deGrasse Tyson, Stephen Hawking, and Ken Ham, even though Ken Ham is brilliant.
A proper education and a lack of indoctrination.
Here we go. The next time you're in a theological debate, don't think about Bob. Instead, remember Jesus. That will keep you humble when you know you are right. Yeah, because nothing is more humble than sitting there going, I'm not listening to you, I'm right, the whole time, isn't it? You know.
See, here's another verse that it loses something in translation, because I am the vine and you are the branches. But the vine is the branches.
Yeah, but we're dealing with
botanically
people.
speaking, the
I
vine
think,
is
I think
branches.
we've already ascertained that they don't science that good.
No.
Yeah, because they like to use things that are modernized versions of the old King James, which actually wasn't a very good translation in the first place, and
No, it
ancient
wasn't,
Greek
actually.
does not translate well into English in the first place.
Well, actually, I think the King James actually translated from Latin.
Oh God! So it went Greek to Latin to English.
Yes.
That's yeah. Wow.
Yep. Yep.
Because what you've got to remember is pre-King James, the Bible was only read in Latin, and it was kept that way so only the church could control it.
Yeah.
So when they translated, they were translating it from Latin. So it's, and even when you think about it,
Because
it's
it
if
was
you're
only
looking
the
at
aristocrats and the clergy, well, people in the
no, it
you
was
know,
it was
in
the clergy. But forget the aristocrats. No, it was.
Oh no!
the
Later, the
clergy.
aristocrats learned the Latin as well, but even
Later,
before mass
once it sort
printing.
of started getting out there, yeah.
Yeah.
Once people started actually being able to read it,
Yeah. It
all of a
was only
sudden-
the wealthy and the priesthood who could read.
yeah, because you've got to remember, I mean, high
Well, no one
literacy
else was
rates
educated.
are a new phenomenon. You know, that's why when I was in that conversation last week with Dr. Jonathan McClatchy, and he's sort of saying, well, all the records from there's hardly any records from Judea in that time. You know, it's like they all disappeared. I'm like, there weren't any records; they were all illiterate. The records were the Roman ones. Like that's who was writing, the educated Romans who ran the place. Like it's there's a lot of illiterate people out there. But anyway, let's see what else. What other
Following on
gold
from
we've
what
got
Raven put in, because she said the vine kills the branches, which is quite true. A lot of vines that grow around trees will kill the tree. But I
Yeah.
was thinking that doesn't that make the people of Earth are the tree and religion is the fungus.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I think that's a much better analogy.
Don't forget. I mean, they call bats birds as well. So
And whales are fish.
yes, who have stomachs you can live in for days on end.
Days on end, yeah.
Yep, nothing wrong with that. Pure
Almost
science.
a doctor asked, what has the Romans ever done for us?
Well, besides the aqueduct and healthcare and roads, education, nothing. But they are better than the People's Front of Judea. I'm just going to put that out there. They are definitely better than the People's Front of Judea and the Popular Front.
Popular Front of Judea.
And man has asked, where are the unicorns at? Well, they were a bit late getting on the Arky. They were the 2x2 that didn't get on. All right,
They were running
even
the unicorns
Sorry?
were running from the dragons.
All right, so God wove even the harshest elements into the curse, beautiful plan for redemption. Yeah, because thorns exist because of Adam and Eve. Yes, the splendor of thorns. They're just fucking wonderful.
Oh wow!
We got spiders' webs on there once. The origin of fleas and the genesis of oh god.
What? What does that say?
The origin of fleas and the genesis of plague. How can they be explained as part of God's very good creation? Oh dear. Why are the Gospels of Matthew and John different?
Because
Really?
because they copied.
Let's get a click.
Because they're both copies from other Gospels and.
Actually, no. John's completely separate. Matthew, Luke, and Mark are all from the same
Copies.
oral tradition. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Jay's disappeared. Oh, there he is.
What's going on?
I'm
What's
stretching
going
my
on?
knees.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, John would have still
but
had.
your head was bobbing then in a really awkward way just above Jen. I just gonna put that out there. If Jen turned around, I would be asking some questions. Oh dear, Friday night six pack, people. Friday night six pack.
It actually. No. You need to swap Jay and I around, and then I can duck down.
Hour and 25 minutes.
No. Chris did that at the beginning.
Chris did that.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true.
This
That's
has
true.
been, yeah. All right.
Chris,
so why are
Chris
they different?
filthied it up early.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's why we start later, so we can do more adult content. All right, so who really cares? Okay, let's see what their stupid explanation, or let's see how they justify this one. God has proven himself faithful. That's wonderful. Do the Gospels ever contradict each other? The reader can either believe there is inconsistency or believe God wrote the good news with express intent. Fuck off. It's like when it says Jehoiakim in Chronicles and Kings. One has him reigning for like 20 years and the other one has him reigning for 40 years. One has him like ascending to the throne when he's 4, the other one, 8, the other one 18. Like it can't be both. Can't be both.
Also, Jesus was born over the span of about 12 years. If you try to make all the Gospels be truthful,
there is no distortion in the truth between John's account and Matthew's account. It's a simple matter of perspective and purpose. The accounts are complementary, not contradictory.
Shut the fuck.
They're different. They're oh man, why? No. Look, yeah, I can't go on with that. That's just.
I had to look it up. So, one of the contradictions is from
That
Genesis.
what you were doing down there?
Yeah. I was secretly looking at my Bible.
Yeah, I thought so.
In Genesis,
on your knees praying.
Yeah, in Genesis 32:30 it says, "I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved." Yeah. But in John 1:18 it says, "No man hath seen God at any time."
And lived.
No, that's not a contradiction. That's complementary.
Oh, sorry. The first person who looked on God's face, that was just complimentary.
Well,
I mean, anybody else?
I have an explanation.
One of them had sunglasses.
No.
Yeah, okay.
No.
A welding mask.
Now, it was who was saying that in Genesis? That was Moses, right? That was saying this?
Well,
or not Moses.
Traditionally attributed to.
All right. So traditionally it was Moses that looked upon the face of God and all that stuff. He wasn't a man. He was one of those spiritual. He was one of those spiritual hybrids that came from slaves.
Oh, he was a Nephilim?
Okay, well, I've got one for you. Because, if no one has seen the face of God, God and Jacob wrestled for days. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, if Jacob couldn't...
how do you say Lucidio wrestling and he had a mask on? God had a mask on.
If Jacob couldn't see the face of God, does that mean because God was behind Jacob the whole time? Wrestling him?
Oh, I like mine better.
I mean, we're talking about a God who loves him some foreskin.
I like the image of them doing Mexican style wrestling. The luchador wrestling with the mask on. Yeah, luchadors.
You reckon he's doing the 619?
Yeah, I reckon Moses got a plastic chair and whacked him over the head with it.
Well, actually, you know what? Vince McMahon did wrestle God once.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it was Vince and Shane McMahon versus Shawn Michaels and God. Vince won.
What?
Yep. They had God in this. I'll find. We actually know if we play it, we'll get copyright struck. But they've got this light that's coming down, and to the ring, and Vince is taunting God, and then Vince beats God, and it was actually quite funny.
It was funny.
I was a hardcore Christian at the time and a Shawn Michaels fan. Well, still am a Shawn Michaels fan.
So God is a luchador wrestler, and he's a small Mexican.
Absolutely, and he signed to WWE. So, okay. So, should we keep going? We'll see if AIG.
Hey, we've got a Christian in the chat.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Cool.
Wesley Curry II.
What about August 25th, 2005?
Yeah, what about it?
What
it was
about it?
Anzac Day. No, it wasn't. Sorry, wrong month.
Actually, you
What
know
was
what? That's the date I lost my license.
Why do you
Oh
keep
no, hang on,
putting dates
August.
in the
No,
chat?
hang on, no. Sorry, that was April 25th. No, August
Yeah,
25th.
I
is
read
Anzac
it as
Day.
April too. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
What
right.
do
There you go.
what do these dates mean? Are they significant for anything?
There might be all the times that his church decided Jesus was coming back.
You know what? I'm a television. You know what? I'm actually really curious now. I was
Yeah.
probably preaching. I'm actually wondering if I was preaching in a church at that time and preached on something on those dates. I don't know. Was it a
November
Sunday?
5th is the anniversary of Guy Fawkes Day.
Ah. Apparently, they're the days you saw Jesus.
Okay, I mean, if we're just doing it, October 2nd, 1972 is the day the God was born.
1872.
Huh?
1872.
1972, you prick.
come on.
1472.
Fuck you.
No, isn't that when the Phantom time skip happened?
Oh, no, he
You?
can just fuck off now.
What is that? Why?
Okay. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, but yeah, that could be a ban in a second. Anyway,
Who was born on June 6th? What the hell is this guy going on about?
oh no, that's the day they reckon Jesus was actually born in the middle of the year. Okay. Anyway,
So Christmas
we'll move on.
Christmas is a fraud then. You're admitting that Christian or Christmas is
Oh no, that's pretty well agreed to in Christian circles that December 25th isn't the actual date of. That's just the date.
They just stole a pagan
that's just
festival.
yeah. That's the day it's celebrated. Yeah, that's fine. That's all cool. Anyway, moving on now. A little bit of exciting news. And he has just popped up in the background. Darth Dawkins is here, and he's got some Bible to read for us. So I'm actually pretty excited because Darth has told me he's going to be reading on the nature of God today. So I guess we'll, if everyone's ready, let's bring in Darth Dawkins. Hello, Darth. How are you?
Well, I'm doing fine, Chris. Thanks for having me back on.
Darth, you know I love to have you. And look, I just want you to know that I heard what you said at the start of the show, and I want you to know that I would never, ever say anything nasty about you or poke fun at you or do anything like that. You know, it's nothing but love and respect from me, Darth.
Well, I'm inclined to not believe that from any of you heathens.
I know. Look, I am a bit worried. I mean, do we need to raise some money to get you out of your mum's place? I mean, I think it's totally uncool that you're not allowed to have girls around too. I mean,
I did not say that. That's another lie. I am allowed to have girls around. I just have to keep the door open.
See, I misheard. I misheard. Now you've got some Bible for us this week on the nature of God and fearing God. So what book are we reading from today? Is it Deuteronomy?
Yes, it is. It is Deuteronomy 28:27.
Fantastic. Well, let's hear what we've got.
May the Lord strike you with Egyptian boils and with tumors, scabs, and itch for which you will find no cure. And my second verse is Deuteronomy 28:53. Then, because of the dire straits to which you will be reduced when your enemy besieges you, you will eat your own children, the flesh of your sons and daughters, whom the Lord has given you. Amen.
Now I'm a bit worried because if people are going to start eating their children, next time your mother calls you for dinner, I'd be getting worried just in case. I mean,
No,
You don't think she would, do you, Darth? I mean,
we're a Christian family. That only applies to you heathens and atheists who eat children.
but you're being besieged by your enemy all the time.
No, I'm the one besieging you. It's your lack of understanding that gets in the way of you realizing that.
I don't know. You've been I feel as though you've been pretty besieged lately. I'm worried about you. I mean, look, we have started raising some money to help you move out of your uncool mum's place. But now that we know that she might eat you, I think we should.
No, my mother would never eat me. I am in God's good graces. It is you heathens who eat your children.
I don't know. I'm looking at that and
well, you claim to have children, but we've never seen them.
No, I know. And I guess it's you claim to have a mother, and we've heard her calling you for dinner, so we know that she definitely exists. I mean, can't argue with that. Now, someone in the chat's actually suggested that you're too bony to be eaten. I don't believe that. I mean, you'd be nothing but muscle. I mean, surely you've got a little gym down in the basement there.
Well, yes, I have everything I need, and I am definitely a average man, and no one here would ever have to worry about eating their children because, as I've said, we're in God's good graces, unlike you heathens. Now,
look, speaking of heathen, Jen did ask a question in the private chat. I know that you don't like to have anyone else on, but I'm just going to bring Jen in because she had a question for you. So
Darth,
Jen,
how are you?
You had a question for Darth.
Well, hello, Jen.
I just want to know, how was your dinner with your mum?
Well, dinner is always fantastic with my mother.
When she's not eating it. So long as she's not eating it. I mean, that's, that is bad. I think we can all agree. Look, Darth, you know what? It is always a pleasure. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for reading the Bible to us heathens. And I don't know, can people give us a thumbs up yet, or is it still thumbs down?
Well, no. I suggest people give this a thumbs down and stop listening to anyone but me because I am always correct.
We can't argue with that. I mean, you are. What did your mum make for dinner that night?
We had pasta. Thank you for asking.
Oh, that's lovely.
So you ate the pasta.
Well, yes, I mean, there's nothing wrong with pasta.
I'd like to know how you sure it was pasta and wasn't something else.
I mean, it could have been.
What is your basis for that?
I mean, what if it was a deacon or just a regular priest? I mean, if you're going to eat a religious person, are you sure it was a pasta?
No, pasta. I understand that you're in Australia and don't understand proper English. It was pasta, as in spaghetti.
See, we're just not good at English here. I mean, everyone knows that English was invented by Jesus in America, and we just don't do it quite as well here in Australia. But look, Darth, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you again next week, where no doubt you'll have some more wonderful Bible verses for us to enjoy. You have a wonderful week, Darth. And look, you know what? Just don't forget, when your mum's not home, you can close the door and let those girls in, okay? You go for it.
No, I have my morals, and I would suggest that you stop eating children.
Oh, that Darth Dawkins, he gets me every time.
Darth doesn't have his own morals. Darth has God's morals. Apparently, God's morals. Apparently, nobody has their own morals.
He's got the ultimate primary morals. Oh dear, that worked well. That worked well. That was good fun.
Oh man, I can't do this anymore.
Darth Dawkins is the gift that keeps giving. Gary wants to know: did Darth just rage quit? No, I almost
you broke Darth.
I think he broke Darth.
He had to go to dinner.
His mum was calling.
She's getting ready to eat him. He was being besieged.
Indeed, Gary. Was Gary like? Was like Gary like left titty or right titty tonight?
Bitty.
Oh man.
Where do you go from there? Honestly, where do we go from there?
Oh man.
Oh, shit.
History.
History. I'll be back in 1 second.
Well, when Chris goes does that, I got some famous today's birthdays. Wild Bill Hickok was born on this day. Actor Christopher Lee. Lisa Left Eye Lopez was born on this day. Rapper Andre 3000. Actor Paul Bettany turns 50. And Lou Gossett Jr. turns 85. So those are today's birthdays.
Wesley just said something about May 31st, 2020. Told you all, don't tell the Vision. Given that the Vision is a fictional character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and comic book, none of us can tell the Vision. The Vision isn't real. The Vision is a made-up character, just like God and Jesus.
You keep putting these dates in, but you ain't saying shit about them.
I don't know.
All right, sorry, I've finished.
Now, Chris can tell us a lot about the Vision because Chris is a comics buff.
Yeah.
Vision?
Wesley said that apparently something about May 31st, 2020. Told you all, don't tell the Vision.
I don't know. I mean, Vision is dead, but now he's back, and but is it really him? I mean, Wanda. Yeah, I don't know. That series was really, really hard to watch, to be honest.
You won't remember the freedom you had as Satan put his venom into the frog.
What?
What?
Okay. Wesley, what are you on? Please tell us. I know some people who'd probably like to get some.
I'm thinking it's just rambling in the chat, but anyway, I'm just probably going to ignore it now. To be honest, I thought there was something.
I'm thinking I'm actually wondering if it's AI generated because it's ridiculous.
I'm wondering if it's like Jay.
No, it's not me.
No, it's not Jay because it showed up on Purple Stream earlier.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Okay, cool.
So whoever it is,
it's interaction is good for the channel. Who cares?
Yeah.
If it gets too much, there's plenty of people who have got the little blue spanner next to their name. Feel free to time out if
play whack-a-mole.
It's necessary.
I mean, at the moment he's just being ridiculous. So ridiculous is fine. If he starts being preachy or overly preachy or abusive to anyone.
The last comment makes no sense.
I know.
Oh, yeah. The Vision I tell. Nope. Oh, somebody deleted it.
Shut to you now till the... Yeah, okay.
Till the last day.
Yep, cool. Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for enlightening us all with...
And we're sure the men with the white jackets that tie up at the back will be there to see you soon.
You know what? You know who he needs some Ken Ham in his life. He needs some
more Darth Dawkins.
Oh, we all need Darth Dawkins.
Hey, Lissy.
So I had birthdays. What do you got for history, Chris?
Well, the oldest recorded event, and actually it's an interesting one because it's actually something that we can actually date because it's in 585 BC. There was a battle with Alyattes and Cyaxares, the Battle of Halys. It actually led to there was a truce, and the reason there was a truce was because there was a solar eclipse. And, obviously that was seen as a sign back in those days. But because it was recorded and we can actually determine when solar eclipses happen, we're actually able to specifically date that event. So it's one of the oldest things that we can actually date to the date, which is a pretty cool thing. Apart from that, I think Belgium surrendered today to Germany in 1940. Volkswagen, Turing published his book today in history. I'm just sort of looking through to see if there was anything else. Bill Clinton did something naughty. Well,
was that today?
Bill Clinton, no, not that one. I mean, this is another one. You know, it's that Bill. What a guy. That was kind of it. Yeah, that's the events today. I guess if we have a look. Oh, Kylie Minogue. It's Kylie Minogue's birthday.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that in my list.
Yeah, Kylie Minogue, 1968. Holy shit, she's older than Ed.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that. No. That's wrong. All right, so deaths, let's have a look and see. I mean, it's bad to say notable. Everyone's notable. Henry IV. Oh, no, that's not the Henry IV we're thinking of. Kicking Bear, who is a Native American tribal leader. Really, it's Phil Hartman. There you go. Phil Hartman died.
Oh, that was sad. That was sad.
Yeah, that was 19.
Phil Hartman was great.
He was actually. Yeah, that's kind of the well-known ones. It's as far as Holidays Flag Day in the Philippines. It's okay. Today is Menstrual Hygiene Day. I didn't know that was a day, but
Okay.
there you go. There is a day for everything. Yeah, there's a stack of Christian things on. Yeah, that's about it.
Do you know what happened on this day in 1937?
No.
Turing released his book. I did
On
say
this
that.
day, the Volkswagen was founded.
Oh, Volkswagen. Yeah, I did say that.
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
Turing was 36.
Yeah.
See, you just don't pay attention to me.
Today is also National Don't Fry Day.
Don't
make
fry
sure you
or don't fly.
Don't fry, so make sure you put on your SPF. Seriously, that's
It's a Friday. Everyone.
Yeah.
So all those Catholics out there who would normally have fish today just can't because it's no Friday, so they can't have fish.
Which sucks because it's hamburger week.
Oh, that's right. It was too.
Yeah,
International Burger Day. I had a hamburger for dinner.
Actually, it is International Hamburger Day, isn't it? Today.
It is. Yeah, that's why I had a hamburger for dinner.
You know what? I didn't. I let my kids have a hamburger.
And it wasn't a crappy McDonald's or, Hungry Jack's or Burger King for you Americans out there. Burger. It was made in a fish and chip shop.
See, I made a really nice curry for dinner, and then I tried it as I was cooking it, realised it was about 10,000 degrees too hot for the kids, so they got McDonald's.
So
you had burgers on Burger Day.
Here's a event date for you. 1431, Joan of Arc is accused of relapsing into heresy by donning male clothing again, providing justification for her execution.
Makes sense. Yep. Oh dear.
I'll give you that, Gary. The burgers just taste better at Hungry Jack's. So that definitely, if you're comparing them to McDonald's, yes.
100%. Yeah.
And
all the way.
One of the worst atrocities that hit the United States in 1830, Andrew Jackson signs the Indian Removal Act.
Yeah, that was a pretty ordinary thing.
Yeah, it's setting the stage for the Cherokee Trail of Tears. So, fire in Quebec, destroying 1,500 homes in 1845.
You're getting all the sad ones. We need something happy that happened on this day.
I'm looking.
Oh, the Spanish Armada. They sailed for England. Didn't go too well for them.
For all you baseball fans, it's the first night game at Yankee Stadium. The Senators won. Senators 2, the Yanks 1.
Oh, the Archbishop of Canterbury declared the marriage of King Henry VIII to Anne Boleyn as valid. That didn't pan out too well.
Nope.
1952, the women of Greece were given the right to vote.
Oh, Harambe was shot today, the gorilla, in 2016. Remember all the outrage
was
for
that today?
Frank Drake was born this day in 1930, and he is the guy who came up with the Drake equation for determining on average how many possible civilizations there could be in the universe or the galaxy. So there's a science one.
Well, there we go. See, it's this is a very exciting one for the Americans. One of your great leaders, it's their birthday today. Marco Rubio.
Marco!
I know that
Rubio.
Ed's a big fan.
Marco!
Rubio!
It's funny because that's what me and Raven play in the stores. I yell, Marco! She goes, Rubio! From the SNL sketch. Do you guys remember that? Drunk Uncle with Peter Dinklage?
Oh, man.
No, we don't get SNL here.
Oh.
Heathens.
I find that offensive.
1999, after 22 years of restoration work, The Last Supper is put back on display.
Ah, excellent.
This
very
day
quickly
in
turned into a movie.
1937 was the opening date of the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco.
I've been on the bridge and below the bridge.
Oh, wow.
We sailed in when I was in the Navy. You sail in under to go to the ports. And then I had duty driver one day and had to take a bunch of guys over to the golf course across the bridge. So I got to drive over it and I drove underneath it.
Okay.
That's a big ass bridge.
That's a big bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it's an okay bridge, but I mean, Sydney Harbour Bridge now, that is a bridge.
Mm.
It's
another one for you
modern
Americans. On this day in 1897, Jello was first introduced.
Oh, Jello. Might have to make some Jello today.
Who doesn't like a good Jello shot?
I don't know. We call it jelly here, so.
Yep, jelly. Well, Jello's a brand name.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, is it? There you go.
Yeah,
but everything in that, it's just Jello.
Yeah, it's like lots of people say, "Oh, I'm gonna go and hoover the floor," and yeah, you don't actually own a Hoover. You have a vacuum cleaner, but you don't own a Hoover because Hoover was a brand name.
Well, it's like a lot of people in the South call all pop or soda Coke. Doesn't matter what it is. Pepsi, Mountain Dew, root beer, it's all Coke.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Sense.
Yeah.
Why does calling everything Coke make sense?
I was being facetious, Jen.
Oh, okay.
Yes. You see, you couldn't see my face. I had to go off camera for a second.
Yeah.
I got something caught in my eye yesterday morning, and my eye's been watering ever since. It scratched it pretty bad. So
I hear you're supposed to close your eyes when that happens.
Yeah, I did. I had them closed. I blinked, everything.
He obviously didn't have the tissue close enough.
And to be honest, it's midnight here. You probably don't want me to close my eyes because, and Jen, that's terrible. Terrible, but expected. That's okay. Oh dear, you're all funny. Well,
actually, you can see how red your eye is, actually, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's really bad. It's quite painful. So I've had a bit of a week. It's Monday halfway through in history today. I came down with the flu.
Yeah.
That was good fun. I'm on stream, and it's just I started.
You could hear him getting more clogged and clogged as the show went.
And then it's sort of towards the end. I'm off screen and like 50 minutes in. We're close to the hour now, so let's end it. Stop streaming. But Yeah, even had to cancel conspiracies, which sucked. But we are doing it this Wednesday. We are doing the Phantom Time skip this Wednesday.
The Phantom Time hypothesis. Yep.
Have you guys done the Mandela effect yet?
No, I won't do the Mandela effect. Mandela effect is stupid.
Isn't that?
I'm getting a phone call.
Who's getting a phone call?
Jen's getting a phone call.
Me. I'll call him back.
Okay. We see. It's Ken, isn't it? It's Ken Ham. Calling to correct you on your bad science.
Gary Priestley says we need to do that Project Blue thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Project Blue Beam.
Yep, I'd be up for that.
We may have to, though. I may just lump Project Blue Beam in with the New World Order. So,
we'll give them a show each.
Think so? Because it is part of the New World Order agenda.
Yeah, I think the New World Order. I think that's too big for one episode.
Yeah, that'll have to be.
There's so many different aspects to it. I mean, it's
Well, we do just one episode on the origins of the Freemasons before they even became Freemasons themselves.
Oh yeah,
with the stonemasons.
With every 200-gram block.
What's that?
Freemason with every 200-gram block.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to hit the 2-hour mark, so we might wrap it up. Well, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds
it is.
good.
It's getting a bit late for me. I mean, you can all keep going if you want, but I'm probably gonna have to jump soon. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to eat something. So one of these days I will extend it, but
don't eat children. Okay, don't listen to Darth Dawkins.
I like Raven said. You try it once, it wasn't that good.
Yeah.
I prefer adults. Yeah. Adults, they're not as gamey.
Jen, what have you got coming up? And Gary Priestley is right. You just made a whole 2-hour episode on Darth and AiG tweets,
more or less.
Yep.
And a couple of other stupid tweets as well, and a special visit from Amanda. So it was
always plenty to go in. What's coming up, Jen?
What's coming up? At some point this week there'll be a roundtable discussion. It'll probably be the one about, as I said before, about the science of gag reflexes, how to overcome them, as well as looking at doing a stream on the science of sci-fi this week.
That I'm definitely. I don't think I need to watch the gag reflex one, but I'll definitely watch the sci-fi one.
And aside from that, next week there is a What the Fuck show as well. That'll be next Thursday evening for those in the US, for those in Australia, and Friday morning or early afternoon for Chris, I suppose, because. But yeah, and I honestly can't remember what the topic was because it wasn't one I picked. So, considering Ed, we have 3 hosts, it's not down to me always. So,
that's fair enough. What do you got coming up, Ed? Who are you yelling at this week? Who are you fighting with on Twitter this week?
I don't have any grumpy rants lined up, but I do have Wednesday, June 2nd at 2 p.m. Eastern. Conspiracy Cats is going to be back on my channel to review some clips from Professor Truth.
That's going to be fun. And Jay, what do we got coming up this week?
Well, hang on just a second. We do have a question in the chat for Ed. Have you done a stream on your tattoos on your channel? You've talked about them, but I don't think you've done an entire stream devoted to your tattoos.
No, I haven't.
Tatty stream.
That could be good.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's a personal thing though with tats, I think too.
Yeah, and some of them I really, am trying really hard to get some of them covered up.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Jay covered up one already.
How's that look?
It looks good. It looks really good. Yeah.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah. It looks real good, but I do still have some tattoos from my days in, the far right that I need to get covered up.
You should.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it.
Is that your future work? Is it, Jay?
What?
Covering its tattoos.
It's tats.
I'm not touching the one on the side. It's too big, and I don't have the technical skills to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a professional for that one. We're looking into different shops that hopefully we can get that program that cover up.
Yeah,
those kind of tattoos.
Early on with me and Ed, I'd sent him a thing about there are tattoo shops that will cover up hate symbols for free. He's been digging into that. Yeah, there are a lot of tattoo shops if you come in and say, "Hey, I want to get this covered up," they'll cover it up for free.
Yeah, it's just I live so far out in the middle of the freaking mountains. The closest shop to me is like 6 hours away. So it's a little hard.
A long way from anywhere.
Yeah, it's a little hard getting there. I mean, we'd have to rent a hotel room, drive 6 hours, get the tattoo done, and spend a night in a hotel room, then come back.
I smell our next fundraiser.
This one.
Oh, I like that one.
This thing is junk.
It's a little jacked up. Yeah.
It looks all right from a distance.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say from a distance, it's okay.
Jay, you unplugged your mic. Yeah. Can't hear you.
No good.
Now it says you're on mute.
No.
Nope, nothing.
Yeah, we understood what he said there. No, so
out now.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Cool. I've just muted him. All right. So what do we got coming up, Jay? What do we got coming up? What's happening? What are we doing?
Monday. I don't know what we got. If we were going to do anything on Monday.
No, not
Wednesday. Wednesday we have the Phantom Time Hypothesis on conspiracies, and then once again on Friday we've got a 6-pack again at 8:00. I don't know if there's any. I don't think we've got anything else going on.
No, look, I guess I'm going to put a shout out there to anyone who knows. I'm looking for someone who's reasonably well versed in, I guess
biblical
Christian history. I would like to debate some aspects of biblical history with a Christian, they don't have to be a Christian, but someone who's able to debate certain aspects of it. So please get in touch with me if you or someone you know might be interested in that. So we are going to start getting debates on the channel, but we just want to have the right one. So, and Richard Madsen, good to see you, mate. Good to see you. You've come at the right at the tail end, just as we're doing our goodbyes. But if you go back and watch the show, it was definitely good. And your old buddy, I know Richard's tangled and danced with Darth before, actually over on MathPig's channel. That's worth watching. If there's ever, that is worth watching.
Richard, 100%. He's such a nice guy.
He
is.
He is such a nice guy.
Absolutely. We might even get you on one of these days again, Richard. Might get you on for a bit more of a group chat. Anyway, we'll work that out. All right. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us. Thank you to everyone in the audience who is engaged and been here the whole time. A few people have been here the whole time, so definitely thank you. Thank you to everyone who's watching in the future and has stayed with us for the 2 hours. Wherever you are on this beautiful planet, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever it is, wherever you are.
Night-o.
Bye.